Moose and Keith.
Good morning. Sorry for all the technical issues out there. Being patient with us. It is Moose and Keith on a Thursday. A little bit late, but on the air nonetheless. Cody Decker is going to be with Keith and myself. I'm going to stay on obviously a little bit later today than normally on Thursdays when I'm out at 11. Good morning, Keith. How are you? I don't hear Keith.
You hear me now.
I hear you now.
All right. It is the sports equinox. You know that? You know that?
I do know that. I've seen the tweets all morning long. Yeah.
What's your favorite equinox?
The gym.
Good by you. There you go.
What's your favorite equinox?
I don't know. The gym was going to be my answer too.
That's why I stole it from you.
You stole all my thunder, the joy. Yeah,
you're proud as a peacock. You've been waiting to show off this T-shirt, as you've been saying on group.
I'm saying it's a fun T-shirt. Look, it's a little Ice Cube. He was Doughboy.
That's it. That is a good one.
Right?
Every day a new T.
Ricky!
That was a great movie. Boys in the Hood is unbelievable.
Right?
Yeah, great. Fantastic. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for everyone dealing with all the technical issues we had this morning. And thanks for being here on Moose and Keith on the Bettor Sports Network. We're taking you, of course, right up until high noon. You got Thursday Night Football, all the baseball playoffs, NBA, NHL, kind of successful night last night. Knicks rallied in the second half against the Memphis Grizzlies. Julius Randle had himself a game last night, even though they lost in overtime. The Nets looked absolutely pathetic. Luka put on a show for the Dallas Mavericks. So that's what you got with the NBA. For Major League Baseball, Keith, I kind of wake up a little bit frustrated, and as a Yankee fan, and I know you're a Yankee fan as well, lose a game that they easily could have won last night down in Houston. And that would have been a huge blow to the Astros, losing a Verlander start when you're starting Jameson Taillon. Here's the thing that bothers me. The messaging after the game, almost to the point where, well, the Yankees sacrificed the game because of the bullpen and the arms that they used in the bullpen in order to try and save it and preserve themselves for the rest of the series. Who knows if this series goes 6 games? Who knows if it goes 7 games? You don't know. I mean, I don't think the Yankees are good enough to be able to play around. Yeah, you might be right. It might be over in the Bronx in 5. I mean, That's it. The Yankees last night struck out 17 times. Here's what
Can't do that.
You can't do that. I mean, they struck out 17 times as a team. You can't have Josh Donaldson, hitting behind Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, Carpenter was absolutely terrible last night as well. He looked completely lost. And the messaging after the game from Carpenter was, well, at least I saw a lot of pitches. I'll be better prepared next time, I'm in that position. I guess. I mean, he looked downright atrocious.
Yeah, better for that position. We don't know how many times that position is going to happen. Listen, I came into the series with no good feelings for the Yankees against the Astros. By the way, you're supposed to lose yesterday's game because, wacky game 5, you fly into Houston late, you have to check into the hotel, you're going up against Verlander. The Yankees are supposed to lose last night. And I'm okay. Honestly, I'm okay with that. Like, if I'm sitting here as a Yankees fan, I go, that's fine. It's the way that they lost that bothers me. The 17 strikeouts, the just lackluster, I don't even know the word, lacklusterness. I'm going to make up a word, lacklusterness of this team. They looked like not engaged in this. And listen, Severino's fine, but he's not like a world beater stopper that I'm like, oh my goodness, Severino's going today. All is good. I don't know. And Framber Valdez, I know he didn't have the greatest end of the month of September, but Framber Valdez was an awesome pitcher all year long. So I'm worried. I think this is, a 5-game series. I do. I think the Astros are the more complete team. The moment didn't look too big for them at all. The moment looked too big for a lot of the Yankees out there last night. And I know a lot of our people in the chat and a lot of people that watch us, because we're from the New York area, are going to say, Keith, stop hating on the Yankees. I'm not. I'm being a realist. At this point, I don't feel confident in them.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think the thing that puts, number one, the Yankee bullpen isn't particularly good. Number two, Judge is really struggling. The only 2 guys in that lineup that are really hitting right now are Anthony Rizzo and Giancarlo Stanton. Everybody else is not doing anything. The bottom third of the lineup, look at the production that you got from the bottom third last night of the Astros as compared to the bottom third of the lineup that you got from the Yankees last night. I mean, it's incomparable. It really is. I mean, McCormick and Gurriel, even Maldonado. I mean, who's in there because, as they talked about during the course of the game, he's a tremendous pitch framer, has a great rapport relationship with all the pitchers, and they have complete confidence in throwing him and throwing to him. That's why he's in the game, right? This is a team that went out there and acquired Christian Vasquez from the Boston Red Sox right at the MLB trade deadline. So to try and solidify a team that was in search and potentially was having, well, not potentially, we're having conversations with the Chicago Cubs about their all-star catcher, and the Cubs, amazingly enough, didn't trade him, even though he's probably not going to be back with them this season. So, Keith, it's amazing when, with all of that, I don't know if the moment is too big. I thought it was a missed opportunity. Like, you're going to look back on that game last night and say, I don't understand. You bring in Clark Schmidt. Number one, I thought Boone had too quick a hook on Jamison Tyone, right? But you bring in Clark Schmidt after the Pena double, and then you immediately walk Alvarez and make it first and second. Then a great at-bat by Bregman. He walks. It's bases loaded. You get Tucker to induce a ground ball double play to Tucker and get out of that. Why is Clark Schmidt coming out for the next inning? And then he promptly gives up 2 solo home runs. If you have Frankie Montas, who a day before or earlier in the day, Aaron Boone said the last bullpen session that he saw him throw, he said, that was the Frankie Montas we knew with the Oakland Athletics. Why wouldn't you have him go out there and start that half inning instead of Clark Schmidt? That to me makes little to no sense. And then afterwards saying, well, the messaging is, well, you didn't go to your A guys. Well, we would have went to them if we had the lead. That was a 1-1 game in the 6th inning. I mean, that is a winnable game. I mean, it's just, I don't understand it. I don't get it. You're probably right. I think it goes a game further than you. I think the Astros in 6. I don't think it's going to be in 5. I think it'll end down in Houston. I mean, maybe Nick Durst is chiming in that the Astros sweep.
Well, we can hold on for a second because
the Astros are a better baseball team.
Nick Durst is a diehard Mets fan. I know that.
Yeah. And
I'm like 99.9% sure he's an anti-Yankee guy. It's like the bus stop this morning. I've told you about Danielle, one of the moms at the bus stop, diehard Mets fan, right? I did not realize she was such a Yankee hater too. She was at the bus stop this morning talking to one of the grandmas. And she was talking some junk to her. Now, to be fair, the grandma is pretty loud and very. She's the stereotypical reason why people don't like the Yankees.
Oh,
yeah, she's that Yankee fan. She's the.
So she's a in-your-face New York, Long Island Yankee fan.
Yeah, she's kind of obnoxious. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hopefully she's not watching right now. Sorry.
See, it doesn't, like, the confidence level of certain Yankee fans. It doesn't bother me. I get why the Yankees are hated. I understand. I understand. The you have to cut your hair short. There, you can't have beards. You can't have all these different things. What the Yankees and what their fans believe. It's just an opportunity last night that was lost, and maybe they'll bounce back in a big way. I do think it's positive when it was 4-1, and Verlander had the 6 consecutive strikeouts that they were able to generate something off Montero last night. I do think that overall you didn't go quietly. That's a positive to me. You showed a little bit of a pulse. That's where we're out here with the Yankees and the Astros, because I don't find anybody other than, hey, I don't know, a gut feel. If you look at it analytically, there's no real reason to think that the Yankees are conceivably going to beat the Houston Astros. It's good.
Yeah, everything about the Astros is better than the Yankees. I mean, I like, besides Judge, who is not hitting well right now anyway. Like, that's it. I mean, Judge and Altuve are both stiffs right now. They are. Altuve looks terrible right now. Judge made a nice defensive play, but he's doing nothing right now. I don't know.
He's awful. I mean, Judge has been terrible. Do you think it's, to the Judge question, do you think it's Judge over the top because of a long regular season? Do you think with the emotional hitting the 62 home runs, why do you think Judge is struggling the way he is?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe pitchers are just kind of figuring him out a little bit more. Like, once you get to this point all they're doing, these pitchers, they're studying exact tendencies of hitters. And yes, I think the Judge is pressing. I think the Judge, we saw him pressing once he got to 60. How long it took him to get 61 and 62, no matter how you slice it. And if you gave him truth serum, I think he would say that he was nervous and wanted to get it done and over with. And that's why his swing changed a little bit. And you and I talked about this. We did. We said that this could be a carryover into the postseason with him trying to, potentially change his swing a little bit just to get to 61 and 62. And I think that it did affect him. I do.
Yeah. I thought it would be more of a negative if he didn't get there.
But it took him so long to get to it, right? Like, it was a week and a half of him swinging a little bit differently.
No doubt. I mean, he was, because to be that close to history and not get there. I mean, he had a season that it's going to be next to impossible. I mean, to ever replicate the kind of year that he had. But, in order to get that 60-second home run, he sacrificed the Triple Crown.
Yep.
I mean, that's it. I mean, because his approach, he wasn't taking the walks. He was being a little bit more aggressive. He was being easier to pitch to. He wasn't waiting for his pitch, something that Jose Altuve is talking about right now with the Houston Astros. So, I mean, it's interesting when you look at the ALCS. I mean, you think it's 5, I think it's 6. We both like the Stros. What was your reaction from what we saw yesterday between the Padres and the Phils? Couldn't have been more wrong. I thought we were going to get a pitcher's duel with Snell and Nola, with Snell and Aaron Nola. You don't get that. You get, 4-0 Phillies early before, you see the Padres rally. They end up winning the game 8-5. Manny Machado with a home run, but you had a ton of offense yesterday afternoon in San Diego.
I think my two favorite moments of the game was Austin Nola versus Aaron Nola, and Austin Nola gets the hit, drives in the run, and he's a major part of that big 5th inning for the San Diego Padres, right? I thought that was really cool. Little odd watching his parents, and it was funny because Jody had actually just gotten home from school, so the 4 of us were sitting on the couch. The boys were doing some homework, and we were watching the game, and she's like, "That's his dad? Why is he he looked lost. He looked like he didn't know whether he was supposed to root or not," which I guess is fair, right? Like if your kid.
Let me ask you, what would you and Jody do? Like in that scenario, if you have your son on the mound, one up at the plate, the son up at the plate gets a hit, what do you do?
I guess you do what he did, right? Like I think you sit there and
once you cheer, then you're rooting against your other son. You're left in. I mean, it's an unbelievable moment to see, a brother going up against a brother, right?
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. But I kind of felt bad. Like, I don't know how I think the best way to react is kind of the puzzled look that the father had in the stands.
Yeah. Yeah. Ernie writes, root for the one who's getting paid less. Nice.
Yes.
I guess it took Austin Nola longer to get into the majors. So sure, root for Austin. No. I thought that was one of my favorite moments. And then Machado, the strikeout. Ask me why, Moose. Go ahead.
Why?
Because Aaron Nola got his 6th strikeout, and I nailed my walk-off winner from Bettor's Eye. We were down to the final hitter. Aaron Nola was limping. Hand is warming up. I'm like, I can't believe I'm going to lose this by the hook. Nola was cruising. What is going on? And guess what? Manny Machado gets up there. Strike 1. Boom. Foul. Walk. A ball there, and then boom. Strike 3. You're out. We get the 6 Ks plus 105. Everyone gets paid.
That's it. There you go. Very nice. Well, I can understand. I was wondering why a Machado strikeout.
Yeah. Set him up. Set it up, baby.
What do you think that series? How do you think the rest of that series plays out? You like the Astros in 5. How do you think the rest of Padres and Phillies plays out?
I really think this game 3 is pivotal because you got Joe Musgrove, who at times has looked like a Cy Young guy, and he's throwing a no-hitter. Like we know he can be, basically a perfect pitcher. And Ranger Suarez had a really good, first outing in the postseason. I would assume we get a bunch of runs in game number 3. And I actually think the Padres might win game 3. I think the Padres are going to get it rolling. And I think that Nola losing gives the Padres the edge. I'd give a slight edge to Musgrove over Suarez. I think the Padres win in 6.
Yeah, I think we're going 7 in the series.
Nice.
I think the Padres. I think the Padres are going to win in 7 games. But yeah. I can't discount that lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies and what they're able to do. I think yesterday was a hit. I think when you hand Nola a 4-0 lead early on in that game and he's not able to protect it, that's a big time hit. Now you go down to Philadelphia and I mean, they just absolutely embarrassed the Atlanta Braves. And I think you're going to get runs in game 3. I'd probably favor San Diego and Musgrove to be able to handle the Phillies lineup a little bit more than Suarez handling the Padres lineup, if that makes sense.
Got another play for everybody out there, and I personally would lock this in now before it changes because I don't think it's going to stay even money. Will both teams score 2 or more runs in the first 7 innings of Game 3 of the NLCS? So if we think that runs are going to be scored, right now on BetMGM, it's even money, plus 100. Both teams to score 2 or more runs in the first 7 innings.
Love it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite plays.
That. There you go. That's one of your. What do you think happens tonight, Yankees and Stros?
Astros are going to win tonight, unfortunately. I think I have this really bad feeling Severino's going to blow up. Like I think he's going to
really.
Yeah,
I think he's going to blow up.
I have a bad. You know how you talk about like gut feeling?
Yes.
Brain says Severino will go 3 or 4 innings, 5 innings, look pretty good. My gut is telling me Severino gets rocked tonight. That's my gut says he gets rocked.
We're going to do the contest giving away the Ricky Williams at the bottom of the hour, 11:30. Keith and Cody are going to be giving that away because I'm going to hand it off to Cody, who's going to take over for my end of things as I do a little TV here at PIX. Cody, good morning, brother. How are you?
Oh, man, living the dream. Did I just hear you guys talk about how Severino's going to get rocked? I got some thoughts on that.
What do you think?
I want you to be wrong, but you might be right. But here's the thing. I'm actually going to bet with my hopes today. I'm going to gamble today. Now, the numbers say otherwise, but listen, Severino's actually been not bad against the Yankees. He's got 2 starts against them this year. He's got 12 innings, given up 5 runs. His last outing against them, he pitched pretty deep, 6 Ks, only gave up 2 runs. I don't know, man. If there's a chance that this team could split and get back over to New York with Cole on the mound for Game 3, this could be anybody's series, and I'm willing to put my money on it.
So Moose, Cody has the most home runs that has ever been hit in minor league baseball. Okay, yeah. So I've got a sexy stat for Cody here. Okay,
hear it.
The Yankees, 18 of 22. Hold on to the number. The Astros, 13 of 17. Hold on to the number. Have combined to score 31 of their 39 runs by home run in the postseason. That's nearly an 80% clip. Cody, is this like how you would get romantic about baseball?
In a way, but let's just say that it's not your dad's baseball game anymore. Everybody throws 105. It's impossible to hit. So it's really putting the ball in play is borderline impossible. So you might as well just try to put the ball over the yard, which is what I was good at. Dude, I missed my time.
I was going to say, you basically were born about 8 years too early.
Mr. Launch Angle. Do you remember what your launch angle was, Cody?
No. By the way, fun fact about launch angle. Launch angle is the most overused phrase in baseball for like the last few years. It's hilarious because launch angle is just a result of what happens after you make contact. And the guys that try to play into quote unquote launch angle, I can go into the weeds about it, but basically creating launch angle is just hitting the ball slightly further out in front. And when I say that, I mean, as opposed to hitting the ball slightly deep. And when I say deep, I'm talking right about where your front foot is.
Well, where was your sweet spot on the swing? Like, where did you like the pitch? If you were sitting, were you inside?
Tell me what to do.
Where did you like to hit?
So what I like to hit was basically fastballs a little down and in, and I can just get my hands out in front. Now, keep in mind, I hunted fastballs every single pitch. I didn't care what the guy had, because here's the thing. If that guy had a nasty slider starting just off the place and breaks off, and I know he's got it, well, guess what? Even if I know he's throwing that pitch, I can't hit that. No one can. The only breaking balls you hit are the mistakes that are left up. And the only way you can adjust to those breaking balls that are left up is if you're on time for the fastball. If I'm on time for a fastball, I can make an adjustment to a mistake breaking ball. But if I'm on time for the breaking ball and say someone wants to throw me a little bit of cheddar, I might as well have not come to the plate with my bat.
What did you make of Boone last night and the decision, how he handled the bullpen?
I liked it better than I liked his previous game. I was not a fan of pulling Nestor Cortez out when they did. I'm getting a little confused on why certain managers have had a serious hesitancy of leaving their starters in a little later. And I'm looking at only two guys with this. I'm specifically looking at Aaron Boone and obviously Dave Roberts. Anderson never should have come out of that game. Kershaw the night before never should have come out of that game. And I don't know why we're all of a sudden not trusting our starting pitching to go deep. Today, Severino's got to go deep. Next time when they come back into New York, Cole, you better pitch all 9 innings.
Listen, Cole, I don't think he's going to get to 9 innings, but I agree. But Cody, this is what bothers me. And this is what bothers me where analytics take it over, because you do know this. Number one, lack of trust in starting pitching. Number two, they're getting the real-time data, where the spin rate is, where everything is, what did it look like in the first inning, where is it in the fourth inning, where is it in the fifth inning. Like, it drove me crazy a couple years ago when the Rays took Blake Snell out of the game and everyone's stuff. I was like, that's not, like, trust the guy. The guy is having an unbelievable moment, and you take him out of the game. Well, then I had analytics people tell me, well, if you looked at his spin rate in that inning wasn't the same that it was the 3 innings, and he was losing his stuff. That's why they took him out of the game.
You know what I saw? Guys getting out. That's what I saw. I don't care what numbers you got. The only number that matters is 27 outs, which is what they were accomplishing. Listen, if a guy's spin rate goes down just a few degrees, hitting a baseball is hard. Facing that guy is hard. You can throw all the numbers you want in the world. And yes, I love all the numbers. I love analytics. Anybody that doesn't use analytics is just a crazy person that doesn't want to just have all the information. That's stupid. However, if you are being controlled by said information, then you're not a very good manager. That's the problem. You have to use your eyes. I know that we like to sit around talking about all the tangibles. It's the intangibles that make champions what they are. Period. Full stop.
Yeah, that's true, by the way, and it works its way over to football too. How many times do we see analytics leads? I don't know, the Baltimore Ravens going for 2, and going for rather than kicking the field goal, going for a touchdown on 4th and 2 earlier in the year. That was stupid.
Made no sense, man.
Have some feel for a game.
And we're all numbers guys. I mean, we love the numbers. And I can't stress this enough. When I was playing baseball, I'll give you a quick little story about analytics. I asked for my advanced stats. I asked for my advanced numbers because they kind of told me, hey, this season you're going to be in a different position. You're going to be pinch hitting all season long. You're going to get a few starts. I'm like, wow, that's a tough pill to swallow. But sure, I don't really know how to pinch hit. So I asked for my advanced numbers because what I wanted to know was what pitches do I hit when I start? What pitches do I not hit when I'm pinch hitting? And my thought process was, I bet I'm not as good on fast.
I don't know what just happened. We just lost Cody.
I believe we did.
Cody just dropped.
What a day.
He was I'm not a bet. I'm bet. Now he's back. There he is. He's back.
Dynamite story, guys. I don't want to be cut off at it.
And I really wanted to know because I bet that my fastball.
Cody No, what was the game show? The Gong Show, where the guy used to come out with a hook.
It's midnight of the Apollo here on
This
Bettor
is
Sports
great.
Network.
Keith and Ernie behind the scenes are like, you know what? This story sucks. Can we just?
That's funny. All right, boys, I gotta go.
Yeah, Moose has to go. Moose, handle your business. PIX, Jets, Giants, everything. You're on the news tonight as well. You'll be back with me tomorrow.
I'll be back with you tomorrow at 10.
I forgot to tell you, by the way, Moose, your hair looks great today.
You do look good.
Yeah, right?
I love you guys. Listen, anytime I'm feeling down about myself, you guys are going to be the first people I call.
What a quaff. What a quaff. Later, Moose. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, so Moose is gone. Yeah, he makes us both have a little hair envy, doesn't he? I know you're. By the way,
I'm fighting for my life, Keith. I'm fighting for my life.
I know you are. And we haven't spoken on the air since this happened on the Carton show. When they showed you as a bald man, do it, bro. Just do it. Yes. Have you spoken to your wife about this yet?
Oh, yeah. She's adamantly against it. A lot of
Jen's against it?
Everyone, here's the thing. People like you, how about this? I'll give you the real thing.
Okay.
Everyone that is bald wants me in the tribe. And I get it. I'd be a powerful member. I truly believe that. Once I go, there is no going back. I still feel like I have moderate options. They're not good ones, but they are options. And the moment that it's time to go, please, everyone that's watching or listening to this show, please tell me. I don't want to be that guy that's holding on just too long, and I know I'm getting close.
I mean, so my thing was I wanted to beat it to the punch. So, like, I truthfully, 1,000,000%, I can say this with all sincerity and honesty. I have no idea if I could grow hair right now. I've been shaving my head for so long that I don't know what it would look like if I let it grow out. The longest I have gone without shaving my head was when I tore my pec and I couldn't figure out how to actually shave my head anymore.
That's so brutal, by the way.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. It was about a week and a half. And more hair grew than I thought was going to grow. Mm-hmm. And then I actually I had to teach myself how to shave my head and my face with my left hand.
Oh no.
And like, even like other things, like, you know, you sit down on a toilet and you're like, wait, what do I do?
Oh yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Because I hurt my pec earlier. I'm a little smaller than I normally am at the moment because I hurt my pec earlier this year as well. And I can't stress enough, injuring your pec, that is just breathing. It affects it. Every little detail. It's like your pecs and your obliques. One of the worst, when I played, I had some tough injuries, you know, sprained left knee, which was a not nasty one, torn UCL. I don't even know the damage that's going on in my rotator cuff and labrum. I'm sure it's significant. But the worst injury I ever had, it's separated shoulder. The worst injury, believe it or not, just a pulled oblique. Just pulled oblique. Not a seriously pulled oblique, just a pulled oblique, and then I got a cold.
Yeah, I'm knocking on wood all over. I've never done any pulling of ab muscles. So knocking on wood, knocking on anything around me. I don't want that one.
The worst, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. By the way, congratulations to you and to me and to everyone watching Sports Equinox today. And for the next few, let's go.
So the 26th time. All right, so let's do this. So you got the ALCS game number 2, Yankees Astros. We got a little bit of your teaser there, and we'll get into it. Thursday Night Football, Saints at Cardinals. I have some player props I'm going to give you. Want to see what you think about those. We have 2 NBA games. Oh, you do too? Good. All right, we have 2 NBA games.
I got plenty of baseball bets in tonight's game.
Okay.
I definitely got about 3 Thursday Night Football bets. And, dude, I'm a Laker fan. You know for a fact I want to talk some Lakers and Clippers.
So can we start there? Because I am a LeBron guy, which means I go with LeBron. I'm a Knicks fan, okay? That's what I grew up as, but I'm a LeBron guy, okay? So wherever he goes, I go. His sons were playing at the EYBL event in St. John's in Queens, New York this summer. Me, my wife, my boys, and some of the AAU kids from my older son's team, we all went. Got a chance to talk with LeBron's mom a little bit. LeBron head nodded at us. Got a chance to see Bronny and Bryce, and my boys got a chance to say hi to Bronny, all that stuff. So I go wherever LeBron goes. I'm all in on LeBron. What do you make of LeBron's comments, though, post-game 1? Because it felt a little odd, but I'll say this. I thought it was calculated. I think he knew what he was doing.
I think he did too. There was very specific things that he was throwing in there. Specifically, keep in mind, the real GM of this team, as we all know, is LeBron James. So watching LeBron James after game 1 call out the moves that were made in the offseason, now I know there weren't a ton, but Russ is still there, and I don't think any Laker fan wants Russ to reign there. Beverly is there, and I still can't fathom why he's there. We don't know if AD is going to stay healthy, and LeBron is still LeBron, but what was it about it that made it seem calculated to you?
The way he brought up Tom Brady, the way he compared football to basketball, and how things can still work, but we know what we are. That felt like to me, hey, Rob Pelinka, I'm reminding you that this offseason, I told you, get me some shooters, get us another play, whatever it may be, right? I feel like that's what I gleaned from this. And I do say I and me, because like you said, he is the team. I mean, he is. He's for the better part of the 20 years that he's been in the NBA, he's been the NBA, right? I know that he doesn't win the championship all the time, but every team he goes to is usually viable. Right now, Lakers kind of aren't.
I know. And it's scary to me, which is weird. But I will say this, and I know probably the smart money, and they are even favored. The Clippers are, I believe, 5.5 points as we currently stand. Well, I am definitely I'm taking the Lakers to cover that 5.5 points.
Okay.
But I'm taking it specifically on LeBron James's back. I cannot imagine or fathom LeBron James playing at, what's it called, crypto.com stadium, whatever it is. Well, I still call it Staples. Well, I can't imagine him going into Staples, facing against the Los Angeles Clippers, facing on against Leonard, and allowing that team to beat him. Not beat the Lakers, to beat LeBron James. I'm betting on LeBron today. Not only that, I'm taking LeBron's over 29.5 points at -105.
So you got over 29.5 points. Okay. I'll get you the odds there. Actually, you know what? FanDuel now has it at 28.5 at -102.
I would take that. Absolutely. Okay. I would take that. Even closer to even money. Thank you.
So -102 FanDuel, 28.5. DraftKings, if you're going to do the 29.5, you can get the plus money to +110. So oddly enough, if you wanted to, you could bet on both of those. Let's see, points, rebounds, assists. DraftKings would be 44.5 at +105. No, thank you. Do you have any other plays in this game? Because I can give you some more options.
Those are my two plays. And like you said, you're a LeBron guy. I am a Laker guy, but I'd be lying if I said I believed in this Laker team. I believe in this Laker team as far as I believe in LeBron James. And I believe in LeBron James, but how far can LeBron James legitimately take this team in that conference?
How about Anthony Davis double-double at +110?
+110?
Yeah, +110 on pretty much every book.
I would take a sprinkle on that.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, Kawhi Leonard, first game back for him. His points, if you go to DraftKings, is at 20.5. DraftKings and Caesars at 20.5. FanDuel and Bet Rivers has it at 21.5. Better odds at -115. Bet Rivers -110, -112 if you can get it.
What do you think about the Lakers as their outlook for the season? We all know the Warriors are just devastating.
The Lakers or Clippers?
The Lakers specifically, because even the Clippers, because the Warriors are devastating. What are the Phoenix Suns this year? Because I don't know.
So I think the Phoenix Suns are a top 5 team in the Western Conference, but I think they're going to have their highs and their lows. The thing about the Phoenix Suns is they didn't do anything to get better, right? The Clippers did. For whatever John Wall is, and we don't know how often he's going to play, they get better by having him on the roster. I know money is a thing. And Kawhi Leonard's back. Like, the Clippers are a better team this year than they were last year. The Nuggets laid an egg last night, but the Nuggets are a better team than they were last year. I think that the Grizzlies are going to be about the same as they were last year. Hopefully Jaren Jackson can come back. The Dallas Mavericks are going to miss Jalen Brunson. They are. And I know they want Spencer Dinwiddie to kind of fill that role. Dinwiddie's a combo guard, not really a lead guard that can have the rock in his hand, even though I know Luka does. So I think they take a step backward a little bit. And the Warriors are going to be great. I mean, they got all this young players, and as long as Draymond and Jordan Poole can play kumbaya. You've been in these locker rooms. Actually, all right, perfect person to ask this question to. Because you have told me time and time again that fights are often preordained, right? Like we know
with another team, yes.
With another team, yes. But not with a teammate. No. How does Jordan Poole and Draymond Green get over this? Like, how does this not become a rift?
You know what the problem is? It's not that it happened. And that's the thing I think everyone really needs to understand. It truly is not that it happened. These things do happen. Now, you hope it doesn't turn into a fist fight. And normally when it does with your own team, I've been a part of teams where fist fights have happened and nothing has taken place. Everything kind of was cooled and calmed down. I've also been a part of teams where fist fights have happened. People have been released, lost their jobs. Like it just depends on the scenario. However, the reason why this is bad is because the video was leaked.
Yeah.
If the video wasn't leaked, this conversation was over 2 weeks ago. I'll give you a great example of this. Right now, all of a sudden, we're talking a lot about Mitchell Trubisky and his fight that he had in between the game where he got benched. Well, that came out weeks later. And if a video comes out where one of them clocked the other one, you better believe this is the story of the Steelers for the season for the rest of the year to come. It's just... you don't like seeing things like that get out. It's something that only happens in-house. It's something that should be handled in-house. And whoever leaked that video is probably in a world of trouble.
The great Taylor Mathis from FTN is going to join us in probably about 5 minutes or so. I know she got a bunch of plays. She tweeted out that she will have at least one play on all 4 of the major sports. You have a hockey play then too, or no?
I do not have a hockey play today.
All right, so we'll get that from Taylor then. Okay.
Yeah, the truth is because I'm not going to be able to watch any. I got Yankees to watch today, man. That's number one priority. And then, of course, on my other screen, I'll have myself a nice little Thursday Night Football, and probably my iPad, I'll have the Lakers hopefully making me money today.
Good, and you'll figure out how to be able to log on to Amazon, right?
Oh, I can do that because I am an adult.
So the Saints have lost 3 of their last 4, and the Cardinals, they're struggling as well. Losers of 3 home games this season. Broad stroke this game for me. Don't even get into a pick yet. Mm-hmm. What is your overarching view of Saints and Cardinals tonight?
I don't think the Saints are good at all.
Okay.
I really don't. And that doesn't mean I think that the Cardinals are either, but at least tonight, the Cardinals are interesting. D-Hop is back. New receiver out there in the field as well. And here's the thing. D-Hop intrigues me in a lot of different ways. One, what kind of pass coverage is he going to draw? Are they going to play him 2-on-1? Is he going to be someone that Kyler's going to be all over tonight? Based on how this season's been, I have to assume Kyler is going to try and target D-Hop any human chance he gets. So this game's got a lot of interesting storylines to me. Plus, the kind of fire that Cliff Kingsbury's kind of feeling underneath his seat at the moment is another type of story, because I can imagine if the Arizona Cardinals lose tonight, there's going to be a lot of hard questions Cliff's going to be answering all week.
Non-PPR, you starting Hopkins tonight or Lazard? You know what? I'm going to be sentimental here. I think I'd go Hopkins. And one of the reasons why I say that is no Marshawn Lattimore. At least we're getting word that he will probably not be playing for the Saints tonight. It means one less good person in the secondary for a secondary that's not that great anyway for the Saints. And because I kind of like an anytime touchdown by D-Hop tonight, plus 125 on most of your major sites. So I think I'd roll the dice with D-Hop tonight.
I like it. I do have a D-Hop play as well, but it's not the anytime touchdown. And I was between anytime touchdown and this. I truly think that Kyler's going to throw the ball. And quite frankly, for better or worse, I think he's going to try and force the ball to D-Hop tonight. So I think he's going to have over 5.5 receptions made tonight. And I got that at plus 120.
Yeah, you can shop your books. Plus 120, the best number on BetMGM. If you don't have that one, Caesars is the second best odds at plus 116 for D-Hop on the receptions. I like that one too. I also would be intrigued, but the number is not great. The longest reception for D-Hop. I wouldn't be surprised if he threw one up. He gets like a 25, 26-yard catch. That number's 22.5, but it's minus 111. I don't know if that's worth it.
And are you surprised? I did take an anytime touchdown, but I took it on Kyler Murray. I took a plus 200 for Kyler Murray to get an anytime touchdown. I feel like when they're in the red zone, Kyler cannot throw that ball off enough. And he wants to scramble, and he knows how to scramble into the end zone.
He's not running as much right now. That one would scare me a little bit. Hey, we do have a giveaway. And to be eligible, you need to download the free Bettor Sports Network app. You register. Again, it's free. It's each day. We do this around 11:30 in the morning. And that's the jersey that you will win. An autographed Ricky Williams.
My man.
White. That's your guy?
That's my guy. I played with Ricky. I played softball this year on Ricky Williams' softball team.
Is that true?
Yeah, I played for the Heisman softball team, his cannabis brand. I am a Heisman guy.
How did that? No, that's you're lying.
You don't believe me, do you? It's 100% true. Me and Ricky Williams this year were teammates on a softball league.
Wow. Okay, well, this jersey is courtesy of Getting the Game and Bettor Sports Network. Remember, no purchase necessary. You got to be 18 years or older to be a part of this. If you've won anything from us, Bettor Sports Network, over the last 90 days, and we've only been alive for, I think it's 62 days. So clearly, if you've won anything while we're alive, this network, tell your family, friends, log in, fun button, call, do it all. And here we go. So Ernie, let's open it up. Let's let people get in for the Ricky Williams jersey, and we'll hopefully have a winner by the end of the show. Cody, they want to know, Cody, what was the name of the team? Was the Heismans?
Heisman. Well,
because so the marijuana stuff, right?
Yes, he has a brand called Heisman, cleverly spelled highs, like jumping high, man. And he runs that company. He had a softball team. They asked me to join it. I thought it was unsafe. Good news, it was. And we dominated everybody in said league. Yes, daddy still rigs.
So, this was a league. It wasn't like a celebrity game.
Oh, no. We played every Monday.
So, all right. Were there anybody else on his roster that we would know?
No, it was just
is it me? I was on the team, like not a non-pro athlete.
We had basically me, Ricky Williams and a bunch of guys that work in the cannabis industry and women that work in the cannabis industry under the brand Heisman. They just brought me in as kind of a ringer. I had a blast doing it. And dude, Ricky Williams, one of my favorite people on planet Earth. Just a gem, that guy.
How is he at softball?
In case you don't know this, Ricky Williams was drafted by, I believe, the Chicago Cubs. So his bat may not be there quite the way it once was, but when you have Ricky Williams patrolling the outfield, balls ain't landing.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, well, the contest is open, so smash that fun button. We'll get a winner in a little bit. Let's dive back into Thursday Night Football, Cody. And again, so I'm hearing word that we may have a name of this 1 hour show.
Ooh, yes.
Ernie, say it in my ear. Am I allowed to say the leader in the clubhouse? Do you know if I'm allowed to say that? Because Matt Deutsch texted me what the leader in the clubhouse was. Ernie is saying, I don't know. So let's not get in trouble. I'm not going to say the name. There is a leader in the clubhouse. Should I trade Travis Kelce, Corey Davis, and Josh Reynolds and get Derrick Henry and Gerald Everett? Yes. So this is the reason why you do this. As much as I love Travis Kelce, I'll take a number one running back over a number one tight end any day of the week. Cody, would you agree on this or no?
I mean,
you love Travis Kelce.
I love Travis Kelce, but like, who is he giving up?
So he's giving up Kelce. He's giving up Corey Davis, that probably never is in his lineup, and Josh Reynolds, that it was a bye week filler or a flex guy at best. You're getting Derrick Henry, and then you're getting Gerald Everett, who I know Donald Parham's coming back, but Gerald Everett has been really good. I think this is a slam dunk for James Mack.
You think so? I don't like giving up Kelce at all.
I'm okay with giving up Kelce.
Really?
I am.
I'm going to go with you on this one. I would try and stockpile Kelce, but that's just me.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
But I also think you're smarter at fantasy than I am, which is why I finished third in my league every single year.
Yeah. I'm really smart at fantasy. If I do say so myself. I'm just, I'm very humble, though. I am very humble.
Aren't you? You are the best at being humble. That is a fact.
I dominate the humble game. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Kelce had a third of his points for the season. And exactly. Like, Kelce's been really good, but the 4 touchdown game is the reason why he's so high up there, right? I mean, like, Mark Andrews has been just as good. I don't know. I'm just not a tight end guy. Like, I would like to have Kelce or Andrews on my rosters, and I actually do have some shares of Andrews in some leagues. But if you're giving me Derrick Henry, and again, also coming off a bye week, I think he's in a great spot this week. I like me some Derrick Henry. Tonight's game, I'll give you a few other plays that I like. You tell me what you think. Being with the fact that the Parham has concussion too, can't stay healthy. Yeah, but Parham, yes, he's supposed to be coming back, but yes, he's been dealing with some issues. I think the Saints are going to try to throw the ball, but they don't have anybody to throw it to besides Olave, really. So how about Alvin Kamara to get 5 catches or more, over 4.5, plus 125. You can get it on both BetMGM and DraftKings. You're looking at someone who had a season-high 9 targets last week and routinely gets, anywhere between 3 and 5 catches a week.
I think that's a pretty good play, especially with the plus money. I'm a big fan of a plus money bet like that. That doesn't seem like something that's too high impact. It's worth like $10. It's worth $5. It's definitely worth a sprinkle. I wouldn't bet the farm on it, but it's definitely a nice prop.
Another one for Kamara, over 33.5 receiving yards is minus 113 on FanDuel.
Give me that one more time.
33.5 receiving yards. So 34 receiving yards, minus 113 on FanDuel.
If he's averaging, you said, 3 to 8 yards per catch?
Well, last week he had 91 yards receiving. Also.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, if I were to play that, might as well throw another $5-10 on and parlay it together.
Good point there. Okay. How about Zach Hertz to go over 47.5 receiving yards, get it around minus 110, minus 115. Some numbers last week, 10 targets, 7 catches, 70 yards. Reason I give you this, no Hollywood Brown, maybe no run game because we don't even know what's going to happen with Eno. D-Hop is back. I actually think that opens the field up for a guy like Hertz. I think we lost Cody. Cody, are you clicking a button to log yourself out?
I'm not even moving. I breathe as little as humanly possible, in fact.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, Cody is here, and I believe we have Taylor Mathis on the line as well. There she is from FTN. Taylor, what's going on? How are you?
Hi, I'm great, guys. Nice and early here in Arizona. How are you guys doing?
Really good. All right. So let's
I'm going
start.
to bed soon.
Yeah, this guy's been going since 2:00 in the morning. He does a different morning show on FS1, Carton Show. So he does that, and then he hops on with me on Thursdays from 11 to 12 Eastern time. He's tired. Taylor, first time you've ever met Cody? Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Can I just put you on the spot for fun?
Oh, go for it. What do you got for me?
I think he should shave his head. I think he should join me.
Ooh, I could see that. I like the move. I mean, is he going to follow after you? Is that what we're going for here?
Right? Look at this. His wife says no, though, but he probably has to listen to his wife. But
if a guy can pull off bald hair, they can pull a bald head. They can pull off anything. My dad's bald. He's been bald since he was like 26.
I wasn't that early. Good.
Feeling pretty good about yourself right now, Keith, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, if you're going to do that, you might as well go.
Yeah. Well, when we're doing, the makeup artists, when we're doing the TV, they know how to powder this down. It's the equinox of the four sports today. What's your favorite one to bet?
Oh, okay. I think my favorite one to watch for sure is going to be the ALCS game 2, Yankees Astros. I also think that it might be my favorite to bet as well. I mean, Houston took game 1 at home. The Yanks are going to try to split the series heading back to New York, hoping that they don't run into deja vu. Houston's eliminated the Yankees from the playoffs in 2017, 2015, 2019. So it always seems to happen. And New York doesn't really have an easy task today against the Stros Energizer Bunny, Framber Valdez. And I love this play because it's in plus money. And I'm actually confused why the line's so low. But I'm going to take Valdez over 5.5 Ks. And the reason I call Valdez the Energizer Bunny is he's durable and he just doesn't stop. Valdez set an MLB record this season with 25 consecutive quality starts. He's averaging 19.5 innings pitched per outing. I love that manager Dusty Baker put Valdez in the 2 spot in the rotation. I think it's a really smart move. Baker recognizes the longevity of Valdez. Baker is thinking he allows his bullpen more time to rest so that they can thrive through the back half of the series. And if the series does go the length of 7 games, Valdez will be the best option on short rest. On top of that, Valdez has also hit this over at 5.5 Ks in 9 out of his last 10 starts. And he's against the Yankees lineup that is middle of the pack in K rate to lefties. I like the over on Valdez 5.5 Ks with great value, plus 118 last time I checked on Superbook Sports.
I like that one a lot. In fact, I have a similar play. I looked at the K prop, but what I liked about the K prop had nothing to do with Valdez. It had a lot more to do with the Yankees, who K'd 17 times yesterday, and not to mention Verlander, 11 Ks on his own. But actually, the prop I really liked, and I'd like your opinion on this, is actually Framber Valdez over 15.5 outs at plus money, which is shocking to me. That's even close to it.
Love that play. The only reason I didn't put that out as my top pitcher prop up today is because Superbook doesn't do outs props. So I was like, all right, I got to stick with the K prop on this because that's what we have. So I went with the K prop. I like the outs prop even more. I can't even believe that it's that low at 15.5. And people don't think that he's going to go over against the Yankees, who aren't even that great against lefties. I think that's an even better bet than the K prop.
How do you manage shopping books? And again, I know Superbook is who you work for, but do you look at other books to kind of gauge, all right, so this is what they're doing. Maybe this is an avenue that I could be going through.
Yes, a little bit. So FTN has a prop bet shop, which is usually what I use to kind of look and see what all the different books are sitting at. Obviously, most of the time, they're all right around the same thing. For me, though, I guess in a way you could say, unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately because I work for Superbook, but because I'm exclusive with a certain sports book, I can only give my line, though, that I have. So that makes it a little bit more difficult because if people are like, well, I can get it at such and such on BetMGM or DraftKings, I'm like, if you find it in a better spot and you can shop it better, go for that. I'm obviously giving what I'm able to give from my end. But I definitely look at what other books are offering as well.
Love it. You mentioned that you love betting baseball, which I do too as an ex-ball player. Obviously, it's my favorite thing to bet on. The bet I always tell people to jump all over always and always look at first is always a total basis prop. I feel like every single sports book just gives them away and truly doesn't even understand them still to this point. Whenever it's not that, I usually might drop to a hits prop because there's always similar plus money, but it's always similar to the total basis prop. What are props in baseball that you think are kind of sneaky, just waiting for everyone to jump all over?
So I mostly focus on pitcher props. I heavily focus on K props. I love outs props though. And I love earned runs props. Earned runs props, though, I feel like are a little bit more difficult to bet right now in the postseason. Reason being, I feel like every manager is managing their bullpen and their rotation differently. So it's sometimes difficult to gauge how long a pitcher will be pitching. And like you have Framber Valdez today, his is set at over 1.5 earned runs. If you take the over, it's major plus money, but it really depends. Is Dusty Baker going to pull him after he just gives away 1 run, or will he keep him out there? It's kind of more difficult to tell in the postseason. During the regular season, I think it's easier to bet earned run props just because you have a better understanding of how they're going to use the pitcher moving forward.
You're over at FTN, which does a fantastic job with fantasy and with gambling. How have you managed to kind of, draw a correlation between the fantasy world and the betting world? Like, do you dive into, like, Jeff Ratcliffe is the fantasy guy there? I've worked with him now for 7 years at CBS. Like, would you dive into what he's putting out there fantasy wise and have a correlation into gambling?
I would love to learn more about fantasy. I, of course, just play my own fantasy football. I'm in 3 different leagues. I love playing fantasy football. It's fun. I've thought about doing maybe a fantasy basketball league this year as well. We'll see. But for me right now, betting has been solely the focus. So I definitely say I am not an expert when it comes to fantasy. I'd love to try to integrate the fields a little bit more. I do think right now in the betting world, it's tough when, for me, my 2 major sports are football, baseball. And then last year I had a very profitable props market with NBA. And I went on a streak last March where I only lost 3 props the entire month. So everybody keeps asking me, when are you going to start putting out NBA props? So now I feel like I'm on NBA. I'm trying to start to learn to cap hockey as well. I used to be a big hockey fan when I was living in the Midwest. Now that I'm out here in Arizona, it's just not as prevalent, unfortunately. So I'm trying to get back into that. So when you're focusing on capping so many sports, fantasy is hard to add on. But I'm open to learning. Anybody at FTN, they can teach me everything they know.
I got a follow-up question on my previous question, because you said something that to me, you may have accidentally or purposely said the big giveaway as far as when it comes to betting pitchers when it comes to postseason. You mentioned K props. I mentioned out props. And you mentioned Dusty Baker. How much do managers come into play when you're playing your pitching props? Because I'm going to tell you, when I'm looking at a playoff pitching prop, I look at the manager first.
Oh, I think it plays a huge factor. I think you have to really look at, I think there's 2 different types of managers in baseball. You have very analytical managers that probably go off the numbers more. If they have a lefty coming up to bat, are they going to have a lefty pitching and things like that? I feel like they take into more consideration. And then I look at a guy like Dusty Baker. I love Dusty Baker because I'm a giant Cubs fan. So I remember him being our manager back in the day. And I feel like he really manages his players and knows what's going to work best for them and how they pitch. So I think there's 2 different ways to look at it. I think that a manager definitely comes into play with pitcher props.
I think you can sometimes look at umpires too for the pitcher props as well. I even yesterday in the Phillies Padres game, Brian Knight was the home plate umpire. He has the 4th highest K percentage in Major League Baseball, which helped me with that Aaron Nola play. Got the 6 strikeouts.
Too.
Yep.
Over 5.5.
Oh, that was a
Just
sweat.
remember,
It
CB
was.
Buckner. You see CB Buckner, take the over.
Nice. Taylor, let's dive into Thursday Night Football. Cody and I gave out a few plays that we like. I'm in on Kamara, a bunch of different plays. I like Zach Ertz as well. What are you looking at?
You and I are always on the same props. I heard you talking about those before I got on. I was like, we're on the same thing again. I'm looking at the Saints because they're dealing with several injuries. It looks like receivers Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry are both sitting out Thursday. Running back Alvin Kamara taking the brunt of the work on the ground, leading New Orleans with 66 attempts for over 300 yards. And on top of that, Kamara will be the Saints player with the 4th most receiving yards on the field tonight. I'm going to ride with Kamara over 99.5 rushing and receiving yards. Kamara's averaging 75 rushing yards a game and over 30 yards in the air per game this season as well. The Cardinals do rank 7th in run defense, but their pass defense is 20th, so it's not good at all. The combination of injuries for the Saints, the poor performance for the Cards pass D, and the fact that the Saints are putting up over 6 yards per offensive play, which is top 10 in the league, leans me to the over Kamara, 99.5 rushing and receiving. I like his over for his rushing prop as well, but I found better value on the rushing and receiving. It's at minus 102, almost plus money.
I love it. I'll follow up on that game though. What do you think you're going to get out of Kyler today? And I get to Keith. I'm very interested in your thoughts on this. Kyler has not been running quite as much as he normally has, but I do like a Kyler Murray anytime touchdown prop, and that is specifically more, I don't trust him to throw the ball in the red zone, so I only can see him really scoring over there with his feet. What are your thoughts on this, and am I foolish in thinking this because I am getting it at plus 200?
I don't think you're foolish for sprinkling on that just because of how great a value is, but I like DeAndre Hopkins anytime touchdown better. It's his first game back.
Oh,
They're
stop celebrating, Keith.
Are you on that too?
I give that out also.
You guys are in cahoots. This is nonsense. You guys planned ahead.
We talk ahead of time, and we're like, all right.
Yeah.
No, I love Kamara, though. He's coming back after a 6-game suspension. He had 8 touchdowns through 10 games last season for the Cardinals. I mean, how do you not throw to him? He's going to be the number 1 receiver on the field with Hollywood Brown out. I also love Zach Ertz over 4.5 receptions as a play as well. You have to get him more involved in the pass game when you're missing Brown due to injury, and who knows when he's going to be back. I like DeAndre Hopkins better, and I think that this Arizona team, they have to start scoring. They didn't score a single touchdown last week against the Seahawks.
No. We have a winner for a Ricky Williams autographed jersey. It is A. Ross. So, A. Ross, you have now won a Ricky Williams New Orleans Saints autographed jersey. Feel free. Taylor's going to stay with us for another couple of minutes. And then, A. Ross, if you're available, hop on. Love to find out how you found us and where you're going to put the jersey, who you are a fan of as well. Hey, so Taylor, you tweeted out, going to have a play in each sport for the sports equinox tomorrow. This was yesterday. Stay tuned. Baseball, basketball, hockey, and football. It is 11:51 a.m. Eastern time. I know it's a little bit earlier for you. Do you have a play for all 4 sports yet?
I don't have one for hockey yet.
Okay.
So I have basketball still as well. Not hockey yet. I have something that I'm maybe looking at, but like I said, hockey is not my sport to cap. So it's a little bit of a learning curve for me today. If I'm going to pick something out, I don't want to give something out that's not quality. So I'm still looking at hockey, but I do have a basketball play.
Are you able to give us the basketball play, or does that have to go on social first? Okay.
Oh, no, I'll tell you guys what it is. I'm going to look at the game between the 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks. The 76ers fell in their season opener on the road to the Celtics. Philly, for years, is trying to build around their superstar, Joel Embiid. Philly re-signing James Harden, who's a great pick-and-roll partner, as we know. They landed free agent P.J. Tucker. They traded for DeAnthony Melton for better perimeter defense. The 76ers just need to get everyone gelling and together on the same page, but that's going to be difficult tonight right off the bat. They have a tough game at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. Philly gets a little bit of a break because the Bucks will be without Chris Middleton tonight. Because the Phillies are at home, I'm going to go with Embiid over 26.5 points. Embiid put up 26 last night against the Celtics, and last season he averaged over 30 points a game. And Embiid shines against the Bucks in 2 contests last year. He averaged over 35 points in those 2 games. And the Bucks allow opponents to make over 53% of their field goals last year. That ranks 14th in the league. And last night they battled Boston, who was first in that category last season. Embiid should have a little bit easier of a time at home tonight, so I'm going to take Embiid over 26.5 points as my basketball play for tonight.
Taylor, do me a favor. Don't talk to me as a gambling person. Talk to me as a Laker fan. Am I stupid for betting what I did today, which is Lakers covering 5.5 points at -110?
Oh.
Then, of course, LeBron James over 29.5, which I heard there was a better price at 28.5. So I'm mad I took my 29.5. I'm doing it because I'm a fan and I want it to happen. And gambling thought.
I would not take the Lakers to cover. I don't think the Lakers are covering tonight. I think the Lakers, I think we already saw it yesterday again at game 1 against the Warriors. I mean, they don't look that great, and I don't expect them to look that much better.
You know how nice that was? They don't look that great.
I feel like the Lakers are just bagging on the fact that they have a bunch of old superstar names.
Yeah,
and
but
they
they're
just
sweet old superstar names.
that's going to move them forward. All of those guys are on the back end of their career.
Taylor, let me interrupt you. Who do you believe? And let's have some fun with Cody. Who do you believe in more this season, the Lakers or the Raiders?
Whoa. Hey, wait.
Hey.
The Raiders. You're all gonna eat crow at the end of this football season because the Raiders are about to go on a serious run here. They're gonna win their next 5 games. They're not gonna win their division, obviously, but I think they're gonna sneak into the playoffs, and I laugh at everyone.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I cannot wait. I'm gonna be the most obnoxious Raider fan, and that is saying something.
Hey, I hope that you're right going into the season. I really thought the Raiders were going to be so much better because they made so many improvements during the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
They can't seem to finish a game, though. I look back to week 2 when they played the Cardinals. They should have won that game. That just spoke volumes to me. The fact that they lost to the Cardinals in that fashion was horrific. So if they can get it together, they've got to figure some things out, though, because it's just not gelling for them.
You know, they had a bye week. They're good. They're rested. They're good.
Yeah, they're fine. Good. Play Devonte Adams in fantasy football, and all is good. Okay.
Devonte Adams, I'm like, what happened to him? He was obviously you see that video of him back in Green Bay. He was happy-go-lucky. He ran over a camera guy. He like helps pick him up, puts his hat on him. Then he goes to the Raiders. Now he's pushing guys out of the way, shoving them to the ground. Like he's not happy. He's disappointed.
Cody's about to stand up for the athlete here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
To be fair, he was walking straight ahead. The game just ended with him taking a left route and running directly into Hunter Renfrow. And then he's walking straight forward. Guy jumps out from the left side. He's got to push him because, as we learned from the previous play, he has no peripheral vision. Yeah. He can't see left or right.
And when the guy jumped out, too, did you see like he broke out, like he looked like he was about to do some karate? The guy that he jumped out, like he was really like he was ready to roll. Yeah.
It looked like a henchman in like an old Kurosawa movie.
I don't even know what to do with that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just put a
Keith behind the scenes. Can you play that again for us about the?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
I regret nothing.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
That just means I'm smarter.
Wow. All right. I'm done.
I hope you're right. We'll see.
I had the over on the wins for Raiders, so I hope that he's right too. I just wanted to bust his chops. Taylor, as always, great stuff. T-Math Sports on social media. Follow her on Twitter and on Instagram. On Twitter, she's going to have all of her picks for today, the Equinox, the 26th ever Equinox. She'll have all 4 plays. Taylor, great stuff, and we'll continue to watch you over at FTN.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, there she is, Taylor Mathis. That was fun. I love that our producer behind the scenes just played that for you. Yes, and Billy Madison, Work and Grind, put it in there, is awesome. Just really, really quickly. So A. Ross, who won the jersey, did put in our chat, unable to hop in, about to head into an appointment. Appreciated you all over there for all the help with the jersey too. Heard of you from Fantasy Guru. So it's great to see that all the worlds of this network are colliding. Truly, all right, in all seriousness, you truly believe the Raiders are making a run, or is that like a little bit of your heart?
It might be a little bit of my heart, but I do believe that the Raiders are going to finish above 500 and be in the hunt. Not for the
9-18. What's their record right now? They have one win, right?
They're 1-4, and I freely admit that is about as much of a death blow to a start of a season as you can get. But we do have the extra game. They do have a very favorable schedule over the next 5 games. They legitimately should go on a 5-0. That being said, they should also be 4-1 right now. So this is going to be an interesting couple of months, and the Raiders are going to have to claw and fight their way back. But listen, the AFC West is not as good as we thought it was going to be. The Broncos are a dumpster fire and a half. Honestly, the Raiders are better than the Broncos on their worst day at the moment.
I would agree.
And not only mention that, they really gave Kansas City a hell of a run for their money. They should have won that ball game as well. They blew their game one against the Chargers, and they blew that game against the Arizona Cardinals. Really, the Raiders haven't been getting beat. They've been beating the hell out of themselves, though.
All right, so yes, no, because we have 30 seconds. Cardinals cover the 3 points or no?
I got the Cardinals covering the 3 points tonight.
And
yes.
Astros or Yankees tonight, who wins?
I'm taking the Yankees on the money line, believe it or not. I really do this, but I do believe in that Framber Valdez over total outs. I also like a Stanton RBI play at plus 170.
All right, there he is. He's Cody. I'm Keith. We'll be back at it next Thursday with Buffett. Let's go.
Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem.
Guru.com on Better Sports Network.